For most of my life, I thought fasting was dangerous, the kind of thing only extreme people did. Then last year, at 67, I finally tried it, and everything I had been taught about fasting turned out to be, well, not quite true. Today, I'm sharing why I was so afraid of fasting for so long. I'm Deborah, and this channel documents my real-time transformation from obesity to right size by learning to trust my body's wisdom, even when it contradicts what I've always believed. Here's what I've heard my whole life. Never skip breakfast, it's the most important meal. Eat every few hours to keep your metabolism burning. Fasting? You're starving yourself. I followed those rules faithfully, and I kept gaining weight, feeling constantly hungry and more out of control around food every year. Then 5 years ago, I was told by an obesity doctor that I had insulin resistance. He put me on a low-carb diet, which I couldn't keep doing because it never solved my impossible cravings. A couple of years ago, I was introduced to fasting for weight loss, and my gut, or what I call my butterfly dare, kept me intrigued. My first reaction was fear, but then curiosity crept in. Soon, the right teachers started appearing, Jen Stevens and Dr. Jason Fung. As I read up on this effective tool, the tool of fasting, I started to wonder, where did all those rules come from that kept me from trying this? Who benefits when I eat all day long? And not as a conspiracy, just an honest question. We do, after all, live in a society that is driven by an insatiable desire for returns on investment. I mean, think about it. Food companies profit when we snack constantly. Pharmaceutical companies thrive when chronic disease rates rise. The diet industry depends on us staying stuck in cycles that don't work. I'm not saying anyone's a villain. I'm saying that the system isn't designed to teach us how to heal. It's designed to sell us solutions. Once all that came together, I stopped letting fear make my decisions. I started listening to those gentle inner provocations, those butterfly dares that queried, what if your body already knows how to do this? That question led me to not only pay attention to what I ate, which I could never get right, and now concentrate on when I ate. Fasting has become a core part of what I now call my eating practice. That's the partnership with my healing body that revolves around energy, eating, fasting, and well-being. Today, we're focusing on fasting. Before fasting, I ate 10 times a day and never, ever felt satisfied. I thought it was a willpower problem. Turns out it was an insulin problem. When you eat constantly, insulin stays elevated. And when insulin stays high, your body literally cannot access the stored fat for energy. That door stays locked. And no amount of grazing all day will burn the excess fat because your insulin stands at the door and blocks it. Fasting gives the overworked insulin the break it needs. And suddenly your body remembers, oh, I can burn this stored energy. Fasting isn't new. It's not a biohack. It's ancient. Across cultures and faiths, People have fasted safely for thousands of years. And even today, worldwide, billions of people regularly fast for any number of reasons. The thing is, fasting is not some newfangled cure. Our bodies were designed for regular rhythm, for times of nourishment and times of rest. My body already knew how to do this.
Now, fasting isn't for everyone, and I don't take this lightly. So definitely don't fast if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. It's not for children or teenagers, or if you have a history of eating disorders. And fast only with medical guidance if you're diabetic, type 1 or type 2, if you have thyroid or adrenal issues, or are on multiple medications like heart or blood pressure conditions, things like that. And if you're like me, over 65 with chronic conditions, fasting, when done safely and mindfully, is transformative. But it's not rebellion against medical advice, it's collaboration. Work with your healthcare team to find what serves your body the best. my daughter, my daughter is a phlebotomist. She tells about patients stumbling into the lab after being ordered on a 12-hour fast, clutching their stomachs like they're dying. I used to be one of them. 12 hours felt impossible. Now, I can fast 24 hours and more calmly, even gratefully. Let me show you what that looks like with a little help from our butterflydares field researcher.
Subject enters this stimulus-rich environment at hour 25 of an extended fast. Remarkable findings. Zero hunger detection, neither gastric nor cognitive signals present. However, subject is newly returned to extended fasting protocols, making this grocery expedition extremely high-risk behavior. Observe as subject navigates standard procurement activities with complete composure. No accelerated acquisition patterns detected. Now this is fascinating. Zero activation detected. Here's the remarkable part. Subject demonstrates full awareness that one mindless bite would trigger a feeding cascade lasting precisely 6 minutes and 17 seconds until total bag decimation. The transformation is extraordinary. Subject navigated this perfected marketing optimization environment with what food researchers call food freedom. Previous field studies would have documented immediate acquisition, followed by vehicular consumption. Absolutely remarkable adaptation.
That grocery store moment, walking past the chip aisle and feeling nothing, that's what freedom feels like. For years, I tried intuitive eating. I read the books, meditated, and tried to listen to my hunger signals, but I could never hear my body through the constant noise of eating all day. Fasting gave my body the quiet she needed to speak clearly so that I could hear her. And in that quiet, I finally learned to tell real hunger from habit, real fullness from finish your plate. And the beautiful part, most of my fasting happens while I sleep. It's my favorite kind. My body gets to reset, restore, and burn energy instead of constantly processing food. More energy, less food drama, actual clarity. And all I had to do was question what I'd been taught. If you want a deeper medical explanation of why fasting is so powerful, watch Dr. Aaron's video. ER Doctor reveals why fasting changes everything. She's a licensed physician who left emergency medicine to focus on prevention instead of crisis care. Her perspective clearly explains the benefits and the science without the fear. I'll link her video below. It's a great resource if you're fasting curious but cautious. Now, if you're thinking, okay, I'm curious, but where do I start? Here's what I recommend. You wouldn't want to learn to swim by jumping into the deep end, right? Same with fasting. if you've been eating constantly, especially high carb or stress eating, your hunger hormones need gentle retraining first. I know. I was eating 10 times a day when I restarted fasting on August 10th. And that's what grace fasting does. It's a simple reset that helps you regain control over when you eat without obsessing over what you eat. Some people even lose weight using it. Through grace fasting, you're teaching your body that we're eating at meal times. We're not snacking. We're not eating constantly. Your body is soon good with it because she is getting the food that quells her hunger without all the sugary, floury, troublesome fluff. So here's your invitation this week. Download the Grace Fasting Guide and try it for the next week or so. Notice how your body responds when you give her what she needs with rhythm instead of constant grazing. And like the butterfly testing her wings every morning, ask yourself, is my fear of fasting based on my body's truth or on what I was taught? Next Thursday, I'll show you exactly which fasting protocols I use. So if you're interested, you can explore this safely in partnership with your body. Take care of yourself, butterfly friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.